Ennis, nombre, y son peleas que son realmente que vendría esa pelea, sino él, Ennis, que también está en el...
Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. You already heard it from the horse's mouth. Xander Zayas called out Jaron Ennis. He said if you don't get the fight with Virgil Ortiz, he wants to fight Jaron Ennis. So he wants all that smoke. He's not afraid. So yes, I believe that that I was under the impression that he was going to move up to a 160-pound division based on what was said in the other social media platforms with Boxeo Urbano and El Filósofo de Boxeo. But people change their minds. Promoters change their mind, and they basically said that they offered Xander Zayas' team offered Virgil Ortiz's team a fight, but they had to do it in Puerto Rico. He was saying that they just started a conversation, that there was no real offer on the table. There was no location, no offer, and they were making a percentage of 50% with no basis, with no actual location. And they're two fighters that have never fought on pay-per-view, so he needed a guarantee. And Virgil Ortiz and the team, they didn't give them a guarantee. Like Oscar De La Hoya didn't give Virgil Ortiz a guarantee. It was just a conversation that Virgil Ortiz started with Xander Zayas, and they didn't make him a real offer. They didn't give him a location. There was no offer on the table. So Xander Zayas told him, let's make the fight in Puerto Rico. He told Virgil Ortiz, let's make the fight in Puerto Rico. But he said, oh, there's no money in Puerto Rico. Virgil Ortiz said, there's no money in Puerto Rico. So he decided to not take the fight in Puerto Rico. And then Xander Zayas was saying there's money in Puerto Rico because the Zone wants to make the fight in Puerto Rico. They're willing to take the fight to Puerto Rico. So he said that Virgil Ortiz is saying that there's no money if they take the fight to Puerto Rico. But Xander Zayas is saying that the Zone is actually willing to take the fight to Puerto Rico and make the fight over there. They were making their assumptions because Bob Arum no longer has ESPN to broadcast his fights, but that's irrelevant because he said Xander Zayas clearly stated that the Zone wants to make the fight in Puerto Rico. So there's not an issue to make the fight between Virgil Ortiz and Xander Zayas in Puerto Rico. So. But they refuse to take the fight because they want to dictate, but they're not the champions. Virgil Ortiz is not the champion. The champion is Xander Zayas. He dictates. Virgil Ortiz is the interim WBC champion. He's not the real champion. I want to say hi to everybody tuning in to my channel. Joseph Verduzco, number one, said hi. Chase Games said, oh, where are you from? I'm originally from Brooklyn, but from Puerto Rican descent. And where are you from? Joseph Verduzco. Where are you from, my brother? Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Check out the background. Felix Tito Trinidad, my favorite Puerto Rican fighter. So Xander Zayas says that we have to see what's going to happen between the fight between Virgil Ortiz and Erickson Lubin. And he said in the interview that I just showed briefly that Erickson Lubin is going to be a complicated problem for Virgil Ortiz because he knows how to box, and Virgil Ortiz struggles with boxers. That's what Xander Zayas just said in the interview. So yeah, subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Joseph Verduzco, number one, he said, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Shout out to Atlanta, Georgia. My wife's sister, my sister-in-law is from Georgia. She's not from Atlanta, but she's not from there, but she moved there from Chicago. She lives in Georgia. Yep, she moved there a few years ago. Yeah, so shout out to my people in Georgia and subscribe to the channel. Tony also, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, and I live in Tampa, Florida. I'm Puerto Rican. So yeah. Subscribe to that channel. Tony also knows boxing. Chase Games says I'm from Germany. Shout out to my people from Germany. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. This is a boxing channel. If you guys didn't know, this is a boxing channel. So Xander Zayas said that that he has to wait and see what happens in the November 8th fight between Virgil Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin. And he said that's not going to be an easy fight for Virgil Ortiz, because Virgil Ortiz struggles with boxers. So that's what Xander Zayas said in that interview. And he said that he wants all the smoke. If he doesn't get the fight with Virgil Ortiz, which he believes that he's going to get the fight with Virgil Ortiz in 2026. He believes that that fight is a reality, that it could be made in 2026. But he said that if that fight can't be made, he wants to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. And he didn't hesitate when he said Jaron Boots Ennis' name. So I believe that Xander Zayas truly wants that smoke with Jaron Boots Ennis, and he's not afraid, and he has the skills. So you can't count him out. You know, yes, Jaron Boots Ennis looks so strong in his last outing with Usima Lima, but you know, he didn't fight a fighter that's technically sound. And I believe that if he fights a fighter that's technically sound, we're going to know more or less where he stands. We're going to know exactly where he stands in this weight class. But he is a threat. But I believe that Xander Zayas has abilities and is very intriguing. And we can't really say that Jaron Boots Ennis arrived until he fights Xander Zayas or Virgil Ortiz. But I do believe that he has a lot of work to defeat Jaron Boots Ennis. You need to come with your tools. You need to come with your A game. And I believe that it's going to be a competitive fight. But right now, in my mind, I think Jaron Boots Ennis wins. But you never know. Xander Zayas, if he prepares right for the fight, I truly believe that he could give him a run for his money. And you never know. He might defeat him. You never know. But I don't see it. Chase Games. Yo, I changed from 4 to 15 viewers. Yeah, man, congratulations, my brother. Congratulations. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Joseph Eldusco, he retracted. Chase Games said he subscribed. He said, done. Chase Games from Germany. I appreciate you. This is a boxing channel. Check out my boxing content. Check out my music on all major platforms. Tony also, The Monumental Truth. Check out my latest album. Mi Patria Linda. I got hip hop and I got soulful and dance music. I got everything. So check it out. Yeah, so subscribe to the channel. I appreciate. So this is the latest that I got. You know, I was under the impression that Xander Zayas was gonna move up in weight, but it appears that he is gonna fight most likely after he beats Abis Barao, which is no easy feat. He says after he defends his belt early next year on in Puerto Rico against Abis Barao. Once he unifies the belt, he wants to fight Virgil Ortiz. That's his goal. And he said that he sees it as a reality, as a fight that can be made. But they have to put a realistic offer on the table. That De La Hoya didn't bring a realistic offer. De La Hoya and Virgil Ortiz team were just like conversating. But there was no real offer or location or amount of money that was going to be paid. And they refused to fight in Puerto Rico because Virgil Ortiz says that there's no money in Puerto Rico. And Xander Zayas countered and said, yes, there is. The Zone wants to make the fight and wants to bring the fight to Puerto Rico. So there is interest in making the fight in Puerto Rico. But Virgil Ortiz and his team refused to fight. So who's ducking who? Virgil Ortiz. When Virgil Ortiz when they asked Xander Zayas to fight Virgil Ortiz a few months ago when he wasn't champion, Xander Zayas accepted and said he's willing to fight Virgil Ortiz in the last minute, and they refused it. And they said, "Oh, we'll fight." They chose to fight somebody else. They chose to fight somebody else. So, like, you know, that's what happens. Like, so instead of they chose to fight the guy that Terrence Crawford struggled, Madrimov. They say that Terrence Crawford struggled with, but Terrence Crawford won that fight. He just gave him a competitive fight. He chose to fight Madrimov instead of Xander Zayas. So when he had the opportunity to fight Xander Zayas said yes. He chose to not fight Xander Zayas because Xander Zayas wasn't a champion at that time. But now that Xander Zayas is a champion, all of a sudden, Xander Zayas is hot. Now Virgil Ortiz wants to fight him. What a hypocrite. Keep it real. You know that you want to fight him now because he has what you want, a real belt, the WBO belt. You don't have a real belt, Virgil Ortiz. I respect Virgil Ortiz, but you don't have a real belt. You have the interim WBC. You need Xander Zayas. Xander Zayas doesn't need you as much as you need him. And De La Hoya needs to stop smoking whatever he's smoking because De La Hoya knows that Xander Zayas is the real champion. He dictates when, where, and how much money he's going to make more than Virgil Ortiz because he's the champion. So, yes. So he wants to fight Virgil Ortiz next year. after he beats Abes Barral in Puerto Rico. And then he said if he doesn't get the Virgil Ortiz fight, he would like to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. And he didn't hesitate when he said that. When he said it, he didn't hesitate in the video. So, yes. So I believe that Jaron Boots Ennis is a threat. He's the real deal. He looks stronger than ever in his last display with Usima Lima. Yes, but he fought somebody that was one-dimensional, was moving forward, and he wasn't the best of the pile. But that was the most that was the guy that was available for the moment. So that's why Jaron Boots Ennis took that fight. That's what he said. So yeah, so subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. I got some interesting interviews coming real soon. Joey Borrero is going to give me an interview, and I believe Abisael Cotto is going to give me an interview as well. But right now I have definitely an interview after Joey Borrero's victory October 17th in Colombia. He's in the 147 weight class division, and once he wins October 17th, I'm going to get him back on my show and interview him. He is Felix Tito Trinidad's cousin, Joey Borrero. He's going to be on my show again for the second time. It's an honor to interview him. Subscribe to my channel. Tony also knows boxing. So right now the 154 weight class division is exciting. We got Backroom Manchuzalev. We got Jaron Boots Ennis, Xander Zayas, Abes Barral, Virgil Ortiz. I just mentioned 5 great possible fights that can happen, and 5 great good fighters. You know, I basically great fighters. They got potential, all these fighters. But Jaron Boots Ennis definitely is great. And we got to see how he looks against the other champions at 154. Because what he displayed was impressive, but it was expected. He did what he was supposed to do against Usima Lima. So, yes, Jaron Boots Ennis is the real deal, but we have to see how it pans out. But I believe that Xander Zayas most likely is going to get to fight Backroom Manchuzalev instead of Jaron Boots Ennis. That's what I think. But you never know. He might go straight at Jaron Boots Ennis. I don't think so. I think that his team is going to do whatever's necessary to not make that fight right away and let it marinate so Xander Zayas can get more experience. That's what I think. But you never know. If Xander Zayas, he seems like he's really ready for that smoke. He didn't sound like he was hesitating in the interview. He didn't sound afraid. So I believe that Xander Zayas is not afraid of Jaron Boots Ennis. He's not afraid of anybody. And he's willing to prove himself against the best of the best. And he said if he doesn't get the Virgil Ortiz fight in 2026, then he wants to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. That's what he said. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Subscribe to the channel. My channel's growing. I'm getting to 1,000 subscribers and beyond. And I thank all the people that tuned in today and all my regulars that keep coming. Subscribe and send me your comments. Who do you think Xander Zayas is going to fight after he fights Abes Barral? Who do you think he's going to fight in 2026? Will it be Virgil Ortiz next after Abes Barral? Or will it be Jaron Boots Ennis, who just knocked out Usima Lima in the first round a few days ago? Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Don't be afraid to click that like button. Don't be afraid to subscribe to my channel. Only the brave and the brave, intelligent, and the ones that are not afraid to know the truth, they always subscribe to my channel. They're not afraid. They're not afraid of the truth. They want authentic information that liberates you, not information is controlled. They want free expression and real dialogue about boxing and what's coming next in boxing. I got the great interviews with the great prospects that are going to be champion. Mark my words. Tony also said it on his channel. Yanquier Rivera is going to be champion from Puerto Rico. Yes. Abisael Cotto is going to be champion from Puerto Rico. I said it. Tony also knows boxing. I said it on my channel. Yes. Joey Borrero is going to be champion as well at the 147 weight class in 2027. I said it. Yes. And Malik Quiñones, who had a fight with Juanita Lopez, and it was a controversial loss. He should be undefeated. He's 3-1 with 3 KOs. He's fighting November 15th. On Miguel Cotto Promotions on YouTube. Check that out. I interviewed him too. So I interviewed all these future champions. So I said it on Tony also knows boxing first. That these guys are going to be champions. Tony also knows boxing. I give you the information. I'm like the Nostradamus of boxing. I'm giving you the future of what's going to happen with these fighters. I'm the Nostradamus of boxing. So stay tuned. I got more interviews coming, but that's what I have right now with Xander Zayas. Xander Zayas is willing to fight Jaron Boots Ennis if he doesn't get the Virgil Ortiz fight. That's what he said in a recent interview, and he signed with Rima Sports. It's going to give him more visibility, make him more viewed by more than just sports people, but more like casual fans. Everybody's going to know who he is too as well, because Rima Sports is a company that's co-owned by Bad Bunny, and it's going to give him more visibility not only in the sports world and the boxing world, but in a global sense as well, like beyond boxing. So that's great news. He signed with them. So 2026, 2027 is going to be a great year for Xander Zayas, and we'll see if he fights Jaron Boots Ennis, because that fight is really, really a scary fight for anyone right now in that weight class. And I feel that 154-pound weight class is very competitive, and it's like it's like the 140-pound division now. A lot of competition. You know, we got Lamont Roach challenging Subriel Matias, and I'm gonna give you some more news later about Subriel Matias. Stay tuned. Some more details, new details from the horse's mouth, from Subriel Matias himself. So I'm gonna give you that news real soon. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Don't be afraid to click the like button. Don't be afraid to subscribe. The only ones that subscribe and like my channel are the brave warriors that are intelligent, that want real information, that don't want to be held back and don't want to be lied to. If you don't want to go to my channel and subscribe to my channel, it's okay. You could go to those fake content creators that give you fake news, that don't give you the real truth, and that are afraid to speak their mind, and they only play favorites. They don't give you the real unadulterated truth and information for boxing, for hardcore boxing fans. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Peace. Don't be afraid, man.